Distinguished guests, members of Parliament, ladies and gentlemen, I am delighted to be invited to give this talk on steps leading towards harmony. I thank the MC for introductory remarks, and I'd like to express my gratitude to the organizers, especially Sue Innes, Dean Mohammed, and Professor Desmond Cahill, for the opportunity to share my reflections on this topic and also for my introduction. Let me begin by congratulating the organizers for the choice of Parliament House as the venue for this meeting. The various Australian governments have enacted laws and regulations in this very place in establishing an amazingly diverse Australian society for us to live in harmony and peace and thrive. I hope this meeting will send a message of support and appreciation to our political and civic leaders for their contribution to civic harmony that we take for granted. My immediate reflection when I first saw the topic was that steps leading towards harmony is the very central message of all the faiths. They all claim that the Supreme Consciousness is perpetually inviting us to step into the magical world of unconditional love, of peace and harmony. But it is supreme irony that while we are totally and absolutely immersed in an infinite ocean of awesome wonder, beauty and harmony of the natural world, the substrate of our human experience is angst and existential discontent. Ordinarily, we live our lives disconnected from the miracle of our own life. For example, each of us is an amazing example, a miraculous example of harmony. We are made up of trillions of cells and millions of interactions and reactions and hormones that constantly are working in amazing harmony. Human brain, heart, liver, spleen, and digestive organs, bones, breathing and circulation, digestion and excretion support us every millisecond of our lives in total harmony. That is mind-boggling harmony. The same may be said about life in all its forms. For example, the harmonious and the silent germination of a seed that transforms in turn soil, sunshine and water into fragrant flowers and sweet fruit. That is awesome harmony with which a single germ cell develops into a full integrated human being. So we are surrounded by harmony all the time. We are part of a web of life in which we are supported harmoniously by plants, by flowers, insects, oceans and rivers, sun and moon, rain and sunshine. A divine consciousness gifts us silently and harmoniously with all that we need for our life: oxygen, water, vital energy and food. We are as much a part of this web of consciousness as we are a part of one human family that supports us physically, intellectually, emotionally, socially, and perhaps not as silently or as freely as the nature supports us. Let me now touch on really who we really are. Religion and wisdom traditions at their very core declare that we are not just organic beings who are born for eating, for fattening our body, procreating and then dying, but that we are part of one integral harmony, one supreme consciousness. Realizing this and living in harmony is in fact the very purpose of life. Our real identity is not with our body, not with our mind, not with our feelings or emotions, not with our racial identity, not with our religious identity, but we are an integral fragment of one eternal divine consciousness that permeates the creation. Each one of us is an eternal spirit in the sky, in the firmament of divine having a human experience. Turning now to spiritual technology of transformation. All religions declare that human experience does not need to be full of angst and existential discontent. But guided by spiritual technology, we can make intelligent choices and saturate our life with love, peace, inner and outer harmony. Spiritual technology enables us to make our human heart the very epicenter of harmony and a living shrine of divinity. When we choose to do so, we harmonize the different aspects of our lives: physical, intellectual, emotional, social, and spiritual, with enormous benefit of longevity, resilience, enhanced immunity. This is not religious poetry, this is scientific information, but the time will not allow me to explore this very important aspect of our life at this meeting. However, unfortunately at present, our lives and our global civilization falls far short of this vision and of this possibility. Question is why? What are the blocks to this amazing potential? Let me turn to the blocks that stop us from stepping into harmony. Short answer: spiritual ignorance. The world has become increasingly secularized and materially orientated, and now we live in a culture in which religious and spiritual values and methodologies are largely excluded from public discourse and policy making. Our educational system, our parenting, media, entertainment, policymakers, administrators, and religious and political leaders are all equally responsible for the widespread spiritual ignorance. Our predominant focus in education, parenting, and political and civic life is on achieving material success and wealth accumulation. What for? For a life of comfort. In this culture, material forces ensure a steady stream of consumerist goods and appliances with built-in obsolescence, which pollute the biosphere. Most people work hard to earn enough money for their daily living, and this leaves them little time, energy, or inclination for reflection, contemplation, and meditation, or for meaningful religious and spiritual practices. Consequently, most of humanity lives lives of quiet desperation, both in the rich and in the poor countries. At present, we are precariously balanced for our very sustainability and our survival as a species. We have a constellation of negative trends such as wars, pollution, ecological threats, fanaticism, inequality of the distribution of wealth between the rich and the poor, and new diseases. We can ensure our survival as a species only if we lift our level of consciousness and lift our game. Then we can guide all the spectacular advances in IT, communication, science, medicine, and rapidly emerging artificial intelligence technology towards tipping the balance in favor of our survival and prosperity rather than facing the possibility of mass extinction. Let me now turn to the anatomy of harmony. I had previously said that the steps leading towards harmony is the very central message of all the faiths. Let me add that religions have actually evolved out of an intrinsic and powerful human desire for inner and outer harmony. Religions emphasize that as a species, we are not limited to organic evolution by Darwinian natural selection. Natural selection which emphasizes the survival of the fittest. We have a natural capacity of accelerated self-evolution. It is from our unique capacity of self-awareness that is, we can become aware of our thoughts, feelings, habits, prejudices, emotions, addictions, hang-ups, inner wounds, and psychological and spiritual limitations. Awareness enables us to modulate our inner life and to consciously cultivate positive thoughts and feelings that add to inner harmony and inner growth. Our awareness and thoughts can and do override our biology. This conscious inner journey of progressive self-evolution takes us to higher levels of consciousness towards greater harmony. So doing, we can ascend from animal human to divine human, transforming ourselves from a sinner towards saintliness. Let me now turn to the steps leading to harmony. There are three main pathways to spiritual harmony: the path of knowledge, the path of devotion, and the path of selfless service. But they are not mutually exclusive pathways. Common to all the three paths is that we must become acutely aware that our organic life, with all its attractions and alluring beauty, is not enough. Angst and existential dissatisfaction, which are constant source of our disharmony, do not have to be permanent substrate of our experience. We can make the substrate of our human experience joyous and graceful, infused with the magic and might of the divine. In this next step for us, we have to make a very determined and disciplined application to amplify the devotion towards goal of all religions and seek inner harmony through regular spiritual practice. Through this, we can cultivate and amplify our positive attributes such as forbearance, acceptance, empathy, sensitive understanding, and ethical living. As I've already indicated, regular spiritual practice turns around honest, very honest, and regular self-audit. This enables us to pacify destructive emotions and aggression, reduce the speed and momentum of our mind, of thoughts, rewrite conscious and subconscious narratives of trauma, hostility, and misunderstanding. We become witnesses, not victims, of our inner drama, and we look at the antics of our ego with greater objectivity. We develop inner stillness and serenity and view life from an open sky-like consciousness, which is a space between our thoughts and feelings and a sense of self. This enables us to integrate our spiritual practice into daily life in a continuous way. Then all experience, positive or negative, is viewed as divinely orchestrated, full of wisdom, and needing to be metabolized for its potential of spiritual growth. Then our work becomes worship. Our daily chores become our spiritual practice, spiritual time. We are then ready to love all, serve all, help ever, hurt never. We engage in selfless service as a service to the divine that resides in the heart of all other human beings and all other living beings. Spiritual practices enable us to internalize positive attributes and qualities of the divine form of our choice, Christ, Buddha, Krishna, whoever, who becomes as our constant inner guide to ensure abiding harmony. As we progress in our inner journey, we relate more and more with the beauty and wisdom of everything. To quote William Blake, to see the world in a grain of sand and heavens in a wildflower, hold infinity in the palm of the hand and eternity in an hour. Let me now conclude by thanking again the organizers for the invitation to me for sharing some reflections. I take this opportunity of inviting you to reflect on harmony. What would this planet be like? This beautiful planet, what would it be like if all humanity is unitedly working for peace and harmony, ensuring prosperity for all, living in a world in which poverty has been eradicated, life has been extended, ecological balance restored, and one in which we give spirituality as premium a place in the culture as at present we give to money and media. How wonderful will it be to have a global culture of non-violence, of justice and peace, and one in which all conflicts are resolved by negotiation and understanding, in which as much money is spent on furthering human and animal happiness as it is now being spent on armament, wars and military. How amazing would it be if science and technology are used only for adding to global prosperity? Reflect on this for a moment. Finally, as representative of Satya Sai organization, I'd like to put a different hat and recite a quote from the teachings of Satya Sai Baba. When there is righteousness of the heart, there is beauty in the character. When there is beauty in the character, there is harmony in the home. When there is harmony in the home, there is order in the nation. And when there is order in the nation, there is peace in the world. Thank you.